Hey guys, this is Scott. Welcome back to the RCA. I've been working on. I know it's been a couple of weeks since you've heard from me, and we had a bit of the flu/head cold go through our house and spent about 10 to 12 days just coughing. So haven't been able to work too much in my shop, but the last few days I have been able to get after this set and get some work done. You can see here when I left off with this, it was time to take this PCB board out and get rid of all the old Black Beauty caps. There's one wax cap there, a couple of these black caps. They're called CD. Don't run into those very often. And then these are replacements that I'm replacing. So we're replacing the replacements, and you can see what they did back when they replaced these capacitors were just clip the leads of the old caps and tacked it on, which was actually what RCA recommended in their service data. Was to do this method. And you can see here that some of them laid down in an axial position, and so that would have been easy to accomplish. Now with these guys, that would have been very, very difficult to do. You can see that's the lead right there. That hasn't been cut, and this literally set down against the PC board. So there was really no way to use that method to change these caps. You can see one here, it's sticking straight up. So, long story short, the engineers really didn't put too much thought into replacing components when they designed this, putting this PCB board up against this frame. Now I was able to manipulate it by really detaching minimal wires. I think maybe ended up unattaching 6 or 7 wires. This is the blue wire. It's a replacement wire. The last blue wire that was in there was melted by a soldering iron. But I can show you here what kind of access I did end up getting. There were 6 points where this board was soldered to this frame on these little tabs. So I had to unsolder those. There were a couple of other shield connection points that I had to unsolder. And then you can see here what kind of access I have to the underside of the board. I'm able to kind of manipulate it, and then I was able to get to all the traces that I needed to get to. Those traces underneath there are very difficult, and so this was a little bit of a tricky job. Just to give you an idea, here's my soldering iron, and you can see how tight that was for me to get in there, find the leads, get them unsoldered and cleaned up, and then be able to change a component without lifting any of the traces, because those traces are very, very delicate. But I was able to get it done. Took quite a bit of time. But now I've got one more cap right here that is it's going to be a replacement. He'll be replaced by this cap right here. And then once that's done, I'll pretty much have most of the original caps changed. There's a few of these brown drops that I'm going to leave in there. They appear to be okay. And but the important thing is that we got the Black Beauties out of there. I put these on a tester, and they're just completely open. They're not very good at all, so they had to come out. These caps tested okay. I just didn't like the way those were connected. And since I had this board out, I went ahead and changed those as well. Can't hurt anything. So the next step is to finish this cap and then go through. I've done some resistor checks. I'm really surprised. Most of the resistors in here are still testing within 20% of their value. So if it's an easy one that I can replace, I'll probably replace some, but there's some of these back here that'll be very difficult to change. So I'm just hoping that they're going to be okay. So I'll get that done, and then it'll be time to reattach this board and install the picture tube, put it back together, and do a power up test after making all those changes. So when I come back, hopefully we'll be ready to do that. You ready to go outside, Homer? Let's go. Let's go see what's going on out here. Come on. Yeah, we'll be using that here in a little bit. Perfect. It's supposed to be March 1st. That tells me that it's, 21 days till spring? Sure doesn't look like spring. I've got a 40-yard long driveway. Let's see what's going on out here. Got your football, Homer? Here's our driveway. Oh, yeah. What do you think, huh? You love the snow, don't you, Homer? Yeah, I guess I shouldn't complain. We've been really lucky this year. Instead of working on TVs, this is what I look forward to today. Looks like they've already done their driveway once. Neighborhood dogs playing in the snow. Huh. All right. I'm sure I'm getting no sympathy from the people in the Northeast, that's for sure. Okay guys, we've got the TV put back together now, and we're going to do a power up with using the Variac. We're going to slowly bring this up. Got the meter here set up for the 275 volt source, so we'll be watching that. And what I'm looking for here is just to make sure I don't get any smoke or explosions or popping. Hopefully I got this thing put back together right. I will say one thing, I'll never complain about a Predicta PC board or anything like that again after dealing with this monster. I'd say the odds are 50-50 that I got this put back together right. To be honest with you, that was quite a challenge. So if you're new to TV restoration, I would definitely recommend you don't tackle one of these as a first project. It was a little bit challenging. So let's go ahead and turn the set on and turn Variac and isolation transformer on. Here we go. I've got about 40 volts in right now. And we're at 116. That should be 275 volts by the time we get up to full line voltage. I don't see any smoke yet. I don't see any tube glow yet though either. Looks like our voltage is jumping around. All right, we're gonna take it up another notch to about 60. And we just lost power, and I'm not sure why. Oh, I am. Sorry guys, having a technical difficulty on my bench here. A plug came out of the socket. So there we go. Now we're back in business. And we're at about 60 volts. Starting to see a little faint glow on the tubes, that's good. At least our series strung's back together. Crank it up a little more. Up to about 85. And looks like we're getting right around 200 volts DC. That B plus. And the tubes are glowing. Going on up to 110. Oh, you can hear the high voltage kick in. Oh, awesome. Just got a raster. Sweet. And let's go on up. So let's check for sound first. Some interesting sound. There we go. All right. And we're at 120. Awesome. 273.4 volts. We're right on. So, all right. Let's see what the screen looks like. Okay. That sound. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and get the signal source set up here. And we'll start to see what we can do with this TV now. Hopefully it'll play better. Be right back. Okay, guys. Let's do a little playing here. See, we got a direct signal on it now from the DVD. No broadcast, just a direct signal into the back. And let's see what we can get. Still don't have horizontal. Sounds horrible. Whoa! Hello. Wake up. There we go.
Sure is old Ben, and he sure is right. You know what I bet happened? What? I bet he seen I was closing in on him up at Hawks Point. Quick as a flash, he moved the whole shebang over here. That's what happened.
Got something going on with this contrast control. I'm not sure what that's all about. All right, well, I think the next thing I'm going to do is put the NTC generator on there and adjust that picture a little bit. Looks like got some vertical linearity issues there, but looks like the recapping on the PC board cured our horizontal problem. The only thing I can see on it now is that by adjusting the contrast control, it's having an impact on the sound. So I'm going to have to go back through the schematic and see where the sound's picked up on this. I haven't even looked at that yet. And see if I can figure out why that contrast control may be affecting the sound. But a little more work to do, but getting closer, guys.
So, ladies, the Mayberry Sheriff's Office officially thanks you for your valuable information and...
Okay, you can see got some issues here that I need to work on. This is obviously tilted to the right, and you know, we're wider down here than we are up here. So, yeah, our crosshatch shows us that, or the center cross, the dots, and see that? Not bad. Okay, so just want to give you a look at that. I'll mess with it a little bit, see if we can get that straightened out a little bit, get us a little better picture. That's actually the picture's not bad as far as the contrast, the brightness, all that. We got a pretty good picture. We just got to get this straightened out. So I'll be back. Okay, made a little progress. Got the picture straightened out, or at least vertically straight up and down now. Still have some linearity issues. Easy for me to say, right? You can see here, a little squished up here and wider down here. Centered up, not too bad. But you can still see it's squished up a little bit here. And so that's what I've got now. I've tried to adjust that out. And taking a look at the schematic. All right. Here's our vertical linearity control. And you can see a lot of the caps in this circuit have been changed. So my next thought was I might have a problem with this 1.5 meg resistor, which is right here. Let me see if I can get some light over here so you guys can see. Right there. Right there. And that thing measures right on at 1.5 meg. So I'm sure there might be another resistor that's off value in here that could be contributing to that problem. And also, I did not measure this actual control when I had that off, the circuit board off. So I guess I'm just going to have to live with it, because I'm certainly not going to attempt this board again. It was just too much work, too much fine surgery to mess with this board. But it's in pretty good shape now. At least all those bad caps are gone. and the TV is playing, just not as well as it could. Here's that area that I repaired. If you recall, it had spliced wires everywhere. Cleaned that up real good, so that's in pretty good shape now. This blue wire is brand new, so it was the one that had been touched by a soldering iron. So horizontal circuit's working fine. So we're about ready to wrap up this chassis and move on to the cabinet, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Well, it's not too bad, guys. The picture actually looks better here, obviously in person, than it does on this camera, but do a little more tweaking on it, but pretty much gonna consider this one up and running. So next thing to be done will be to take a look at this cabinet, and I think we're going to paint this cabinet. You can see it's kind of a, I really don't know what kind of color that is, kind of a brown color. Not real sure yet, but I'm thinking about, generally I like to keep things original, but I'm thinking I might paint this cabinet candy apple red. I don't know, I gotta think on that, but in the next video we'll begin working on this cabinet. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.